How's it going, boys? Layering your outfits does not need to be an intimidating or difficult thing to do. I think it's one of the easiest and best things you can do as a male to improve your style overall. And the best thing about it is it requires very little effort and honestly very little money too. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about exactly what items you need for layering, where you should go to buy them, and ultimately which outfits look best when you're trying to pair all of these things together. So with that said, let's get into it. Now, when it comes to layering your outfits, you're gonna wanna start out with a few key pieces, and that's gonna start with a tank top and a good base essential tee. Now, for tank tops, I would recommend just going to Amazon and getting a 3-pack of Hanes tank tops. That's what I'm wearing here. I think they look plenty good, and honestly, they fit the bill when it comes to layering. If you wanted something with a bit more nicer material and a little bit thicker, I would recommend going over to Abercrombie or Uniqlo are also some really good options there as well. And for the base essential tee, I personally like to get mine at either Built or Abercrombie, and I have a whole video dedicated to essential tees, so you can watch that as well later on if you would like to. But just start there. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those options, and the reason I love Abercrombie so much is really just because it is a pretty affordable brand, but you're getting a really high quality piece as well. Now you can get that essential tee from Abercrombie for $20, sometimes even cheaper when it's on sale, and that 3-pack of Hanes essential tank tops for $10. So now we're only spending $30 for essentially what we can use as our total base for all of our layering for our outfits. Okay, now that we have the base items out of the way, we're gonna need to get some overshirts. Overshirts can vary from camp collars, which is my personal favorite and I'm wearing here in this video obviously, or flannels, or lightweight denim jackets, or jackets overall. Those are all pieces that we can use for layering. So like I said, let's start out with my favorite pick, which would be camp collars. And especially in the summer and warmer months, it's much more difficult to layer, and this is definitely an item that lends itself to that. Now I love camp collars so much because one, they're lightweight, and two, I think they just look fantastic. Camp collars definitely have a touch of a dressy look, but also when you layer them like this and unbutton them, I think they give off a really casual vibe as well. So it's a very versatile piece if you didn't want to layer obviously and go to a more dressy occasion. I think buttoning it up all the way looks really, really good as well. But I think this nice layering with a tank underneath the camp collar just looks really great. You're wearing 2 layers, but it's so lightweight that honestly it's still extremely breathable. And like I said, during these summer months, you don't get hot at all when you're wearing these 2 items. Now I do have a video going over my favorite camp collars, but Zara, I think they have so many great options. And again, probably not a surprise, but Abercrombie. And then additionally, if you live in a really hot climate, I would recommend going for a linen blend camp collar. And that's even more lightweight than your regular old fabric. All right, now let's talk flannels. Obviously we all know what a flannel is, and I think throwing over a flannel over a classic base essential tee is an all-time iconic look that is never gonna go anywhere. It's definitely timeless. I like to shake up my flannels just a touch and go with a texturized flannel. This one's from Abercrombie. Big shock, but I think it looks so good, and it just looks a little bit different than that normal flannel that I think you see on the streets. But if you did want to go with that classic flannel pattern, I think you cannot go wrong, and that's a really simple thing that you can do. Now another great overshirt is an Oxford shirt, or specifically from Lululemon, they call it their commission shirt. I think this is great because it is really still a dressed up look, but is at the same time pretty casual too once you go down and unbutton it. It is a really expensive piece, but I think you're really paying for the overall fit and the premium fabric that you get with this piece. Okay, another great all-time look is going with a lightweight jacket, and this specific material is denim, and I got this from Zara as well. I just went with a simple black look here, but I don't think you can mess it up at all. Again, this is a timeless piece that is not gonna go anywhere anytime soon, and is really hard to mess up. I think pretty much anyone would look good in it. Now a similar overshirt would be a bomber jacket, and that's a collarless, more casual look, and I come and go in terms of how much I like to wear my bomber jacket. So if this is your style, then I definitely think you could go ahead and rock it, but for me personally, it just kind of varies whether or not I'm feeling it or not. So I think a bomber jacket is a good option, and I think it does fit a lot of people's styles really well. Lastly, you could go with a more heavyweight jacket, and this specific one is from Levi's, and it's more of their trucker style jacket, and I really love this look a lot. It definitely would not be wearable in those warmer months, but I think it is nice because it has a cropped look, which I think just looks really, really good and shows off the bottom of the shirt, which I think is just a nice little touch in terms of layering. Now, what I love about overshirts is the possibilities are endless. I typically like to stick to my classic neutral and muted colors, which is gonna be beige, white, black, gray, and navy. I think it's just really easy to stick to those because then you can mix and match with pretty much any outfit and any item. So I prefer those, but what I love about overshirts is you can get crazy with patterns and have some fun with it and really allow your personality to come through in your outfits. Now, if it's a colder time of year, obviously layering a hoodie is always a great option, and there's a few ways that you can do that. Again, I would just go with a nice base essential tee, and I think wearing a slightly oversized tee here would be great. And then you can wear a nice hoodie, which in this case, I would again go to Abercrombie. I actually think their hoodies are some of the best that you can buy. They're so comfortable, super thick, and very high quality, so I can't say enough good things about them. I have a couple pairs of these. And then I like the look of going for a cropped look when it comes to hoodies, and all that really takes is simply rolling up the inside of the hoodie and showing off the base of your shirt. Now, this is not a big thing, but I think it's just a nice little touch that you can do when it comes to layering and wearing hoodies. And then of course, obviously when it comes to hoodies, you could throw on something over as well, like a vest, which is always a good look, or you can even throw on a flannel over your hoodie if your hoodie is thin enough. And that's something I see a lot of guys doing. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. I was aiming to get at least some good ideas in your head in terms of how you can better layer your outfits, and also more importantly, probably what items that you can get that would be most beneficial for layering. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm and gets the video to more people, apparently. And if you're not subscribed already, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, I'll see you on next week's video.